Welcome back, Turtleholics. In today's video, I'm going to teach you guys how to properly pick up a turtle. And whether you need to pick up your turtle to bring them to their feeding spot, or you need to do a full clean of your tank, or you need to just simply move a turtle across the road, I'm going to teach you guys how to do it to not only keep you safe, but to also keep the turtle safe. And unless you're trying to pick up a dinosaur like the guy in this clip, it's going to be pretty easy.
Oh my God.
Now, the first step is to wash your hands. I suggest warm water and no soap, just because some types of soap can cause irritation for your turtle's shell or their skin. Now let's head to the tank. So it's best if you can get them near the top of the water. You might need to guide them a little bit with your hand. And the goal is to basically get behind them a little bit underneath their shell and behind their back two legs. So I'm gonna see if I can grab her over here, and then I'm gonna slowly get her here and then pick her up. And she might hiss a little bit. Yep, there she goes. She doesn't love getting picked up. But you can see I've got my 4 fingers underneath her shell, and then I firmly have my thumb on top. And I have a firm grip here, but make sure you don't squeeze too hard. Just as a reminder, a turtle shell is still part of their backbone, so you really don't want to squish in too hard. Oh, you can see she's starting to kick a little bit there, but you can see that she usually doesn't kick her back legs up when I have her in the back. And even if she does try to kick it, you can see she's not really going to be able to kick all the way back into my hand. She's just not that flexible. Also, one more thing, when you put them down, make sure you do it very carefully. You don't want them to kind of freak out. You want them to slowly just kind of guide them back into the water.
And if you do have a huge turtle, you do follow these same steps, you just might want to use 2 hands. And this also goes for if you're trying to pick up like a big snapping turtle that's on the side of the road.
You always want to grab him on the back sides of the shell, just like this. Lift him up in your arms and safely carry him across the road in the same direction that the turtle's going.
However, if you are dealing with a wild turtle, I do suggest trying to use something else, maybe a shovel or any other object, to basically move them across the road instead of using your actual hands. Or maybe at least if you have some gloves, I recommend you use that instead of just trying to do it with your bare hands.
Now let's talk about some things you should avoid when picking up a turtle. And you can see when I try to get to the side, she's actually able to kind of hit me here with those front legs. And her back legs can actually come up as well. And turtles, usually when they get bigger, they have pretty big nails, and that can hurt a lot. So you do want to avoid, you really want to make sure you're in the bottom third. Anywhere in the half or above, they can start kicking you, and it can, cause them to freak out, and it can also scratch you pretty hard. And you can actually see here, she did get me with her nail a little bit. Obviously the cut's not too deep, but that just serves as a reminder of why you always want to try to pick her up from the back and, not from the side where her nails can get you. And you've probably seen some people put a turtle directly in the palm of their hands, but I don't recommend this just because the turtle can run off of your hand. But if you do have it on your palm, just make sure that's over your lap so they don't fall to the ground. Also, a couple other tips too. A turtle's tail really depends on the species, but sometimes it can jut out a little bit. So you want to make sure that you don't touch the tail. It can obviously be pretty sensitive and can cause them to get pretty anxious. Also, one more tip, make sure you always keep them level. You don't want to flip your turtle over like kind of any direction, especially not on their back, just because that's going to make them not only freak out, but it actually makes it a lot harder for them to breathe.
And also, while it's fine to leave your turtle like on the ground, do not by any means ever put your turtle like on a table, especially if it's off the ground. Just because I've had a couple close calls caught on camera. And a couple off camera. So just make sure that if your turtle's above the ground, that you always have like either them inside a bucket where they can't get out, or they're firmly in your hands. Make sure when you're done picking up your turtle that you go back and wash your hands. You can use soap this time. And also make sure when you're touching your turtle that you're avoiding, touching your eyes or mouth with those hands, just because turtles can carry salmonella, so you don't want to get sick with that. It's very common for new turtles to be very anxious when you try to pick them up, so don't get worried if your turtle absolutely hates it. I would suggest just giving it some time, so only pick them up when you really need to, and then after your turtle starts to recognize you, or at least it starts associating you when they start feeding them, they might become more comfortable, and ultimately then you can try to start picking them up. But I hope this video helped you guys. If you have any other recommendations for videos, let me know down in the comments. If you liked the video, please give it a like and subscribe to this channel. And with that, me and Penny will see you on the next one.